Good morning, EBC kids, and welcome to another week of Crosstown. Today we're going to start a new unit that is called God is for me. You are special to God. He loves you. He is with you, and He has what you need. In our Bible stories for the next 3 weeks, we are going to celebrate how good it is to be on God's team. Today's story is about when God used Moses to part the Red Sea. It is an awesome story. You're going to see today how much the Israelites had to trust that God would save them. The Egyptians were pursuing them, and there was a sea in front of the Israelites. All seemed hopeless, but not to God. God came through for them. Just like God came through for the Israelites, we can trust that God is going to come through for us. That's why, again, this week, we're going to make it a point to remember that every day we can trust in Jesus. You say it and say, I. Every day, I can trust in Jesus. You know, with Crosstown, we're going to start off with a song. Stand up. This is a new one. Let's sing it out together.
You're The Faithful Hall of Fame, Moses. This is Moses, who was an Israelite born in Egypt in a time when Israelite boys were not supposed to live.
Wait, huh?
Moses, however, grew up in the palace of the Pharaoh, the very man who was enslaving the Israelite people. When Moses grew up, he made a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
So Moses ran away from Egypt
Wow!
to the land of Midian. After many years, an angel of the Lord appeared to Moses and told him to go back to Egypt to free the Israelites. After much protesting, God granted Moses his brother Aaron to speak on his behalf.
Whew.
So Moses went to Egypt.
Yeah, move there.
And on his way there, he met Aaron, who was ready to do whatever God wanted him to do. The Israelites were slaves to the Egyptians, but God had a special plan for Moses.
Hey, everyone up. Huh?
After rallying God's people to them, Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh. And said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, has said. Let my people go." And Pharaoh made the Israelites work harder because of this.
Hey, how are you? Huh?
The foremen of the Israelite slaves were angry with Moses and Aaron for causing this trouble. So Moses cried out to God and asked why this was happening. But God said, "You will see what I will do. I am the Lord. I will deliver you from slavery."
Wow, okay. Hey!
Moses told this to the people,
Hey!
but they were so discouraged that they didn't listen to him.
Yeah, whatever.
God told Moses to go to Pharaoh and to do exactly as he said. So Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh.
Hey!
God told them to take the staff and throw it down before Pharaoh.
Huh?
Pharaoh was not impressed. He called his wise men and sorcerers, and they did the same thing.
Hooga.
But Aaron's staff swallowed up the sorcerer's staff. Yet Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them.
Shoot.
Just as God had said. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the banks of the Nile River and meet Pharaoh."
Hey, Pharaoh. Oh, man.
Moses and Aaron did just as God had said.
Oh.
But again, Pharaoh's magicians did the same miracle, and Pharaoh refused to let God's people go. So God sent 9 more plagues to Egypt to show his power. Even with all the suffering, Pharaoh's heart stayed hard, and he would not let the people go. On the night of the last plague, Pharaoh woke up and heard a great cry in Egypt.
Oh, no.
For there was not a house in Egypt where someone was not dead. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and told them to be gone with the Israelites. So the Israelites left Egypt immediately and made their way to the Promised Land, taking with them many riches from Egypt, and they took Joseph's bones as they had promised him many years before. But after they had gone, Pharaoh changed his mind and readied his army to take back the Israelites. When the Israelites saw Pharaoh and his armies come, They were terrified. But God made a way for them. Through all of this, the Israelites saw the great power of their God, the one true God, and they put their trust in Moses, his servant.
See, I told you it was an awesome story. It's pretty incredible. Isn't God so cool? It all looked hopeless for the Israelites, but God, he was able to make a way and deliver them from the Egyptians. The same God that delivered the Israelites from a hopeless situation wants to deliver us from hopeless situations too. We're going to hear a little bit more about how this story points to Jesus. Come on, let's have a listen.
Hey everyone, Pastor Andrew here. We're wrapping up the story of how God rescued his people from the land of Egypt, how he split open the Red Sea and led his people safely across, saving them. This story points to Jesus, about how God and Jesus came to rescue us. You see, the children of Israel were in bondage. Yeah, kind of like this. They were slaves to Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Their lives were miserable. Maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you felt like you've been tied up in bondage to fear of being afraid, to feeling nervous or anxious. Maybe you felt tied up by sickness or loneliness or feeling like you're no good. That's bondage. On the bank of the Red Sea, God's people were trapped also. They saw that there was nothing they could do, and they were right. So what does Moses say? He tells the people, "Don't be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the Lord save you today. Do you see those Egyptians? You will never see them again. The Lord will fight for you. Just be still." Then Moses raises his staff. God parts the waters, and the people cross over in dry land into safety. The Egyptian army chases after, but then God closes up the waters of the sea, defeating Pharaoh and his army. God delivered his people from their bondage. Israel was freed by Pharaoh, king of Egypt, being thrown into the sea and destroyed. But we are freed by Jesus, the true king, throwing himself into the sea of our own sin. On the cross, Jesus made us a path to freedom through our sea of sin by taking our place of bondage to sin and death. Would you take time to pause to remember the God that saved you? Think of your sin. Think of all the times that you went your own way. Think of how you tried to save yourself and how Jesus still came to rescue you by dying in your place. Think of how he came back to life to give you new life. And when you think of this, your response should be to thank him, to worship him for rescuing you.
Do you tend to think that your sin is no big deal? That the choices that you make and the things that you do don't matter and don't have consequences? Or do you think it is a big deal and you try to rescue yourself? I want you to take some time this week to think about that and talk about it with your family. Ask some questions, talk it out. But then I want you to remind yourself how Jesus has rescued you. Yeah, he has. He created a way for you to have eternal life and to live with him forever in heaven. That makes me so happy, and I am so thankful that we have these opportunities to learn more about him and to learn that we can trust him and that he is with us and that he is for us. So no matter what you're going through, know that God is with you. Know that God is for you, and there is nothing that is impossible with God. We're going to continue to study with Crosstown for the next couple of weeks, and I am so excited that you join me each week. Please come on back next week, and I'll see you then.
We're shouting, hey, living every day. Heavens will praise your name. Jesus, let my